Okay, you're live.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Education Multilingual Curriculum Subcommittee meeting. Today, Wednesday, September 21st. The time is now 6:05. With me this evening is Sherry McCready Brown, Board of Education member. And thank you for the guests that are here. I know that we will probably hear information that we had started last September, but because of different conflicts with scheduling and, we were talking about the budget at that time, we had to postpone some of our meetings, but we're going to hit the ground running this year. So get ready and, look forward to hearing all this information and see what we can do for the children of Norwalk. Going to ask, I have a couple of people that I've invited this evening. Lauren, if you can introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm on my phone. I'm sorry. So I'm not sure if you can see me or hear me.
We can hear you. Thank you.
Lauren Chavez. I am a Spanish teacher at a private school locally, and happy to be on this team.
Okay, thank you. Viviana.
Oh, hi, my name is Viviana Hernandez. I'm a parent, have two kids in the district, one in middle school and my youngest is in 4th grade. So I'm a Hispanic parent, and this topic that is really important for me. I have the blessing that my kids born in this country and they speak perfect English, know myself. And now I'm working also in the district in Foxham Elementary School. So I can see the need that many kids are having right now for this program. It's really, really important that we need to do something for all the kids and for their families too. So I'm so glad that Miss Carpio invited me to be part of this. I'm so excited to see what we can do all together for our kids. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for accepting the invitation and welcome to Norwalk Public Schools. And with that being said, I am going to pass the meeting over to Francis Saez, who will be leading all of these meetings with us coming months.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Francis Saez. I am the Education Administrator for Multilinguals for Norwalk Public School, and I'm also the supervisor of the Family Center. Today, we're going to revisit the ML department goals from last year. We're going to take at a quick glance of our current data. We're also going to speak about our findings through our observations and our visit into the schools, and talk a little bit about the shifts that we made, those changes that we made to benefit the students from Norwalk Public School and the few outcomes from those shifts. So I will also be sharing with you the Family Center data and parent workshops and special events. So I'm so happy that you all are here and are willing to support us in making those shifts and those initiatives. So our multi-learner department goals for last year, and some of them are going to continue, and we're going to increase the outcomes for our multilingual learners, is to increase the multilingual graduation rate, increase the ML student achievement on the last link. That's the assessments that they take to assess the speaking, listening, reading, and writing in English, to increase the number of dual language program options for family, for multilingual learners, and to provide administrators and ML teachers the professional development and a cycle of support they need to be able to support our students.
Hold on one second, Francis. Liza, okay. Thank you. Okay, she's muted.
Okay. So these are the shifts, the excellent shifts, our moves, our changes to improve the instruction of multilingual learners in our school district. So in our findings, which I shared briefly last year, and we had some interruptions in terms of being able to continue our meetings, was that we noticed the MLR high school graduation rate was at a 62%, and that the program of studies impeded on ML students having access to rigorous curriculum and courses, and also having access to English courses in the early years of their high school. So we also noticed that the ML students that were being serviced by ML teachers were mostly those students who were at a level 1 and level 2. And we're going to talk a little bit about those levels and how students exit out of being multilinguals. So what actions did we take? What shifts did we make? We revised the ML program of study to provide students access to English language courses in their earlier years, so they didn't have to wait till the 4th or 5th year of high school to be offered an ELA course that they needed to be able to graduate. We also did, as a department with the curriculum, a review of all ML students' transcript so that we could gather data about the courses that they needed to be able to graduate on time. And through our findings, these were some of the recommendations that we put in place, is that instead of reviewing their transcripts at the very end of the year, that there will be a transcript review 3 times a year by the school counselors so that we could monitor our MLL students' progress and take actions to offer them the courses that they need or to retake courses that they need so they could graduate in a timely fashion. All MLLs in the elementary schools, we made recommendations, we met with principals, and we moved our elementary to be serviced at 100%. And in the middle school, 3 out of the 4 middle schools, we moved that they be able to service more MLL students. And in the high school, we're still working at it. We're making sure that ML students are integrated into the general ed courses so that it's more inclusive and that they have opportunities to practice the language with other non-MLLs. We continue with the shift. One of the changes that we did is, as I stated previously, is that we really wanted to offer parents an option. In the state of Connecticut, you have a list of options to select either bilingual programs, standalone ESL, or a dual language program. So our goal is to increase the dual language programs in our district to be able to really actually give parents options, not that the options are just on paper and they select it, but really offering them those options. We expanded our dual language programs in a few schools. We're going to show you that in a few minutes. We created a new course sequence that offers students the opportunity for rigorous course and at least having ELA by the 2nd year or 3rd year, as opposed to the 4th and 5th year of high school. We're going to continue with the QTEL strategies training. What we found through our last links data is that students really still need to have the opportunity to engage in discourse during instruction, high order thinking skills, so that they could really develop the language skills of speaking that they're still struggling with. So some brief ML data. In our next meeting, we're going to do a big deep dive into more of that.
Excuse me, Francis, sorry. I didn't know if anybody had any questions since we'll be going into a lot of information. Sherry, do you have any questions with what she just discussed? Because I know you missed some of this information last year.
No, for some reason, I just got on. I had to call in because I couldn't get any audio. I don't know what, I got video, but I couldn't get audio. So I really just got on, so.
Okay.
Please proceed.
All right. Anybody else in the group would like have questions, discussion with what we just discussed or shown? But before we do that, Francis, I wanted to say that as I was standing next to Dr. Estrella at the high school graduation, I was very emotional at the number of students that said, I cannot believe I actually graduated. I made it. And thank you. I was in awe. And it was all these kids that, you know, didn't think they were going to graduate because no one was seeing them, no one was helping them, and English as their second language. But to hear and see the pride and the parents crying, that for me is what pushes me to do what I do. And we need to help all these children.
Diane, you're such a point. I personally, with my assistant, Taylor De Silva, ran the accelerated summer program at Norwalk High. So I personally got to visit and with Taylor, review some more transcripts, do one-to-one conversations with the kids. They were amazing, and they really, really wanted to do well during the summer program to be able to graduate. So I went into the classrooms, visit those classrooms. I said, look, Dr. Estrella has allowed this opportunity of the accelerated program that I'm going to speak about. So I get emotional when you speak that way, because it shows an effort of, you know, the curriculum department and everyone at central office really making sure that they were offered the courses that they needed to graduate, or they weren't going to graduate. So thank you for sharing that, Diana.
You're welcome. Any questions from anyone?
And I just wanted to add, I think that is definitely a small win, and we're really excited. But I think the goal is to have 100% of all of our students walk across that stage. So we still have work to do, but we're really excited. We're moving in a good direction.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So I want to share now some of the MLL population. So from, you see there's a change in terms of the numbers, and it's still growing. We still at the Family Center are still gathering some more data and identifying the MLLs and assessing them. So this is preliminary till up to just last week. So from 2021 to 2022, we went up from 240 MLL students to 2,321. And at the Family Center, we are still registering students. We have estimates. Sorry.
Question. No, sorry. Are those students that fell through the cracks prior, or just enrollment had increased?
Enrollment increased for about 300 and something. These are new students coming to Norwalk Public Schools who we assess and have identified as multilingual learners. So we have a large increase. They're coming from all over. Some are coming from the city, from different countries. We're still gathering data. So next month we'll talk more about the demographics, but it's going to keep increasing. So we had an 11% ML increase from October 1st of last year to this year in October. So we went from an increase of 19% multilingual learners in our district to 20%, and still growing, because every day we are registering students.
Wow, thank you.
So I think one of the most important things that we have to do is really celebrate some wins that we have from the shifts that we've done. And we want to continue to celebrate, because these celebrations is what is impacting our student. Our first celebration is that for the first time, with Dr. Estrella's approval, we were able to create an MLL accelerated summer program. And this is not like a normal summer program, because usually the summer programs are called credit recovery courses. These are courses that students have the opportunity to retake, because when they took it during the school year, they failed, and then they have to go to summer school and take it. These are courses that were offered to MLL because of the constraint and the way the program was set up, did not have the opportunity to take those courses during the school year. And that made them lag behind in their cohorts to graduate on time. So in these courses, we offer initial courses, never taken before, students to take these summer courses in this summer. They were allowed to take 2 credits. But one of the major criteria in taking these courses is that they could only be absent twice. If they were absent more than twice, they could not earn the credit and have to be discharged. So we had a total amazing of 150 students register, MLLs register for courses to earn credits that they were going to be behind it. And in our 150, we only had 14 discharged students who didn't meet the criteria to take the courses, pass the courses, because they had to pass the course as well to be able to earn the credit. So we had a completion rate of 136 students who took 1 or 2 courses and earned the credits and passed it. So we had a 91% MLL summer school passing rate this year for our first year program. So that's really a celebration. Those are students that we're focused on making sure that they graduate on time. And we're revisiting the graduation rate for MLLs. As we shared last year, the ML students in 2019 to 20 was at 62% in our district level. If you look at the blue right underneath the arrow, and now for 2020 and 2021, through all the initiatives that Dr. Estrella has been putting in place and with the support of the Department of Central, we are at a 70.8% graduation rate in the district. So I talked a little bit about the last links mastery, that's the proficiency that students pass. The last link assessment is given to all multilingual learners every year to make sure we assess their English proficiency in 4 domains. That's in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And for students to be able to pass this assessment and not be identified as an MLL, they must exit the program by having an overall score of a 4 or a 5 in the last links and a 4 or 5 in 2 subtests. So they must have a 4 or 5 in reading and in writing. So if they had an overall score of 4 or an overall score of 5, but they still did not have it in reading and writing, they cannot exit out. They're not considered proficient. But in 2022, just last year, we had a 6.2% of all our MLLs achieve mastery in the last links. That means in our district, 133 students pass the last links, and it's rigorous because they have to pass the reading and the writing component, compared to 2021, where only 98% of our students pass. 98 students pass, compared to a 5.3%. So that's really a celebration. It's a small increase, but we're gonna keep working at it, and we really wanna make sure that we increase our percentile.
When is that test given? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
The exam, there is a window of the exam, and it's normally given between the months of January and March every year.
Okay, Lauren, can you go back to the previous slide and go ahead,
Yes.
Lauren?
I just have a quick question. You said you assess reading and writing. Is there anything else that's assessed on this? And what's the acronym LAS stand for?
Oh, the last link stands for, it's like language acquisition services.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that was a very good question. Besides the reading and writing, we also assess speaking and listening. So students have to listen to on headsets, listen, and they have to be able to respond. So all four modalities, domains are assessed.
Great. Thank you so much.
Francis, I have a question as well on that last slide.
Okay, sorry.
Were those numbers referring to the whole district or just high school?
The entire district.
Okay, thank you.
Sherry, any questions? No?
No.
Okay,
The only question I have is, can you guys hear me?
yes.
Since I'm not able to see the slides, if someone would just email it to me, and
Yes.
then I can be able to look at it, and if I have any questions, I can follow up. But what I would say is, do you all feel that you have the support that you need in order to provide for our students who are MLLs? Because my sense is, as you've indicated, we're going to continue to get more students. So do you feel like you have the support that you need in order to facilitate the kids?
At the present time, we are availing teachers throughout the year professional development. We are also collaborating with HR in terms of recruitment, in terms of TESOL teachers and bilingual teachers, to make sure that we have the staffing that we need to provide the services for the students. We make projections, and we knew there was going to be an increase, but we never know depending what it looks like until we start doing the registration. So at the present time,
Right.
we have the staffing, and we're developing the staffing through professional development.
Okay, thank you.
Francis, one more question in reference to the lost links. I know that the lost links is presented to the students once a year. Is there a way of maybe, or does it exist, I guess is what I'm asking. Is there a benchmark, or does something exist that teachers can use throughout the year to kind of guide our instruction? Because the lost links is just presented once. Is there anything that exists that would be able to use throughout the year as a benchmark to make sure we're on the right track?
Yes, we have data and the scales for each of the modalities, and we share with teachers, and we're going to continue to share that, where their individual student is at in terms of each of those modalities, so that you could see the benchmark and what level they need to be in to be able to move out of being an MLL. So that's one of the professional development PDs that we're going to have this year, so that the ML teachers could take a look at that and their individual students' progress. So we want to really progress monitor those students with teachers to be able to support them throughout the year. Excellent question.
I just have one more question. I don't mean to keep you from your presentation, but do the children get prepped for this test, or is it just a cold test? And how often is there a follow-up to the test? Like, once you take it once and that's it? Is there a reassessment? Is there something that you can kind of say they've progressed, or they haven't progressed?
So throughout the year, the ML teachers are, through their instruction, should be supporting those modalities through the QTEL strategies and assessing students throughout the year. So it's not like the teachers have to just prep once for that test and then give them the exam. But throughout the year, they are supposed to be supporting students in acquiring the language through those 4 modalities. So throughout the year, yes, they should be prepping, and there's practice that they could take before the assessment. So all the ML teachers have a core of students that they're assigned to support those students. So last year I shared our dual language programs, and now they're growing. At Jefferson, we have now 4 dual language classrooms. In Brookside, we have 2. One is a 2-way and one is a 1-way. Silvermine has always been a 2-way dual language program, and it still is, and so is Westrock. We're gonna start to create a cohort of a few principals who are interested and do a study group on how they could implement dual language in their schools, so that next year we open up at least 2 more dual language schools and start in the lower grades of kindergarten. So the cycles of support, we're going to continue the type of support that we provide schools is professional development. We support them with programming and servicing. We do walkthrough observations as a support, as a department, and we give them summary plans and reports to support the teachers, the ML teachers, and the principals. And we're also providing professional development on dual language to those 4 schools that are participating in dual language. And we have a consultant who is supporting with lesson planning in those schools. So I also have the honor of being the supervisor of the Family Center, and what an amazing place. In this center, I have the opportunity to firsthand meet the students that are first coming to Norwalk Public Schools, meeting the families, and this has been an amazing and rewarding experience for me and my department. We originally were at the central office, but now we're at the Family Center, and we're setting up some professional developments for families and events, and I want to share upcoming events that are happening. So here at the Family Center, one of the special events that are going on this upcoming September 29 is that we got funding through Chase Bank to provide financial workshops for families. There are going to be 4 sessions. The first session is taking place September 29. We sent out the information to principals. We sent out flyers. We're putting them, they've been placed on the website. And we're so happy to share with you today that the financial literacy workshop will be on budget and savings. And there's many more to come about buying a home, improving your credits. And that's taking place here on the 29th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for any family members. There's going to be a registration process. Ask for the parent coordinator. She has the sign-up sheets, or any of the schools that parents could sign up there. And then on the 28th, they're going to send us our list so that we make sure we have packets for those families. Next month, we're going to have them in Spanish and Haitian Creole so that everybody has the opportunity. If a family comes to the English session, we still have translator present just in case to support those families.
Francis, how many languages in Norwalk do we have? Or Rob, if you know that info?
I had it on my last slide. We have a total of, let me see, let me look that up and I'll give you that. But our 3 top languages are Spanish, Haitian Creole, and Spanish and Haitian Creoles are our top 2.
Okay. And do you accept volunteers at the Family Center, especially when you have these workshops and things like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are planning to send out surveys to families so that we really want to provide the workshops and the events that families really need and really want. But I know from meeting the families here at the Family Center, many brought up about really learning the credit system that they don't know. In some of their countries, that doesn't even exist. So really wanting to know about how can I purchase a home? If I save money, is that a possibility for me? So we have 4 sessions coming up for families. I'm going to share this document, Diane, of all the events, and they should be posted by the end of the week on the website.
Okay, thank you.
So for National Hispanic Heritage Month, we were able to get a grant to do at City Hall. We have like 700 and something seats for families to attend La Gringa It's a bilingual performance. It's a story and experience of a Puerto Rican family, of a young lady going back to Puerto Rico, being born here in the United States, but struggling with her identity. And she's called La Gringa, and her family is an amazing. This has been written by Carmen Rivera, who's also Puerto Rican. And this off-Broadway show has been going on for over 20 years, and it will be an amazing experience for Norwalk community. We will be offering the board seats for the events, and we are sending out tickets to all the schools. We're dividing it evenly across the district so that they could participate. Lise Colon from HR was able also in celebrating Latinas in Latina actors. Simone is a 15-year-old Dominican young lady who just got a major part as the voiceover of Gigi from the Disney World movie Vivo. We got 140 tickets for families of in the district. We're distributing into 4 elementary schools. We have busing. It's going to happen on October 2nd. And we have transportation to Bridgeport, where those who funded the tickets was WPKN broadcasting station. And they are going to attend the movie and have a tour of the broadcasting station for those students who are interested in getting into broadcasting career. And they don't know that in the audience would be the voiceover Gigi, the actor who actually is little Gigi. She's going to be sitting in the audience, and they're going to meet her, and she's going to give them an autograph. So it's an exciting moment for our elementary school students who will be attending on October 2nd. In celebration, all the cast are Latinos. Miranda is the writer and the main character with Gigi. He is Puerto Rican. We have Gloria Estefan, who is also one of the characters. She's Cubana. So we're celebrating their success. Their success is our success. And this is the financial literacy workshops, the first 4 sessions that I was briefly talking about. And we're excited about that for families. One of the things we're doing at the Family Center so that we could gather our data is trying to get the data of the influx of families that are coming through the center and the services that we provide, registration, assessment, school readiness. We have a nurse who screens their medicals to make sure they're ready for school, transportation, food service, and those who come for workshops. This is just from July 7th to September 8th. And so far from that time, we've had 1,129 families coming through the Family Center. Wow. And from the 1,129 visits, 75.5% has been for registration and initial visits. And now Q&A.
So here, I just want to let everybody know that, if there are concerns, questions that we didn't cover today, because there's, we have a few months to meet and discuss, you could also email me and I can discuss them with Francis to put together agendas regarding your questions and concerns. This committee is actually to help, the children of Norwalk to be able to get an education and graduate and help them with their language and help their families, educated, like Francis was showing, not just for the student, but helping these families to be able to get resources and understand what resources they have available for them. And with that being said, if there's any questions at the moment that we didn't discuss, that if you wanted to bring up now, Francis can take notes and we can discuss in the future too.
I wanted also to respond to the questions of languages. I got it from my other data. So the percentage of MLLs in terms of language is 91% Spanish, 3.2 Haitian Creole, 1% Arabic, but we also have a total of 40 different countries are MLL students in our public schools.
And I am correct in saying you have different staff that speak multiple languages at the family center, correct?
Yes, we do.
Francis, I do have a question. It's very exciting as a MLL student myself, and I have children that participated in the dual language program in Norwalk Public Schools. It's very exciting to hear that more and more dual language programs are starting and that we're looking, we're going towards that way. I'm just curious, what determined the two-way versus the one-way? How was that determination made and why?
So based on research between the two-way, and I'm going to explain it a little, two-way dual language program is where we have two groups of students, one that speaks English and the other one is a target language. For example, in Norwalk Public School is Spanish. So that has the best outcome in terms of research, where we mix non-MLLs with MLLs in the same class. And because students are given the opportunity to engage and interact with each other, they acquire both of the language. They support each other in learning English and learning Spanish. Sometimes what happens in the one way, we have a large population of MLL students, and principals have the option of selecting, based on their conversations with families, a one-way dual language program. A one-way dual language is where in the classroom, all the students are MLLs, but they're receiving instruction in two languages, in English and in Spanish. And it's the same with the two-way. The delivery of instruction is in two languages, but the student population is only MLLs. So it really determines on the school, the population, and making sure that we're able to service the interests of the family, and that's how the decisions are made. Any more questions?
Okay, then. With no further questions, I just want to say thank you so much, Francis, for this information. And I'm looking forward to, not getting sidetracked this year. And we're going to hit this very important issue hard this year. So we will definitely be meeting on a monthly basis. And again, if there's any concerns, questions that come up, you can either email me or email Francis at the Family Center. And we look forward to seeing everybody next month. And thank you again for those that came this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the great information. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.